Hi guys, have you ever wondered what's the difference between an unbalanced and a balanced second stage regulator? If yes, then this video is for you. My name is Vlad and this is the Soul of Atlantis. In this video, my friend Torben talked about the difference between an unbalanced and a balanced second stage regulator. He gave us some insights and recommendations of what type of reg to use depending on the type of diving we're doing. So before we begin, if you're new to this channel, please click the subscribe button below and don't forget to click the notification bell so that you get informed whenever I have some new video uploads. Okay, let's check the video out. Hi guys, we're back at Pacifica Dive at 2226 Chino Roses, Makati, and I'm here with Torben to discuss about the balanced and unbalanced second stages.
Hi guys, again lots of questions about balanced, unbalanced, and what is the right choice for me. So we have these very nice Scuba Pro cutaways and we'll open them up for you and show you how they look inside. There we go. So first we have an unbalanced regulator. On an unbalanced regulator, it means not balanced to the intermediate pressure that's coming from the first stage. And an unbalanced regulator will be affected by exterior factors, by depth, by intermediate pressure, and it can't compensate. Therefore, it's unbalanced. It is not balanced against the environment, not balanced against the pressure coming from the first stage or from the tank on the first stage. So these regulators are built very, very basic, but have some perks as well. So on this most basic R series regulator, so the current model is, for example, the R195 as a second stage, or the Octopus. We have here 190. There is a smaller version which is a R095. So on these regulators, R series regulators, we have the air come through the connection, and we have the entire pneumatic built into this part with the lever sticking out and being operated by the diaphragm. So the diver breathes in, the diaphragm pushes down, the lever goes down, and the air starts to flow. The diver stops breathing, the lever comes back to the front, and the airflow stops. How does this work on the inside? Maybe you can see it here. I have the orifice and I have the seat, and when I do the breathing motion here, the valve on the inside opens and closes. So if on this regulator, if my intermediate pressure, because I use an unbalanced first stage, is changing, the performance of this regulator can change. Therefore, the pressure that is coming from the first stage is compensated here with the preset pressure of the spring. So if my intermediate pressure is lower as expected, I will have to work harder. If my intermediate pressure is higher, the regulator will have a higher tendency to free flow because it is not compensated. It is set for one specific condition that we preset this regulator. There's no adjustability on a standard unbalanced regulator like this. Okay. So on a balanced regulator, that's quite a bit different and quite a few more parts. So on this regulator, I have, you can see it, there you go. So we have on this connector the hose attached, the air goes into the regulator, but on this regulator, counteracting the force from the tank is a balance chamber from the other side. So the shuttle in the middle, the valve assembly in the middle, is trapped, caught between a spring on one side and the pressure on the other side. Now the air will travel through the center of the valve assembly and work from both sides onto the assembly therefore balancing it. So the air pressure is not only coming like on an unbalanced regulator from one side, it is coming from here, lets through the valve assembly and operates from the other side as well. So now my valve assembly is pneumatically balanced. The tension and the breathing resistance comes alone from the spring inside the regulator, which can be a much lighter, nicer spring tension and can be adjustable. By turning this knob, I can make this valve operate harder or lighter to the point of basically it barely holding the valve assembly shut. So that is a balanced regulator where you have the pneumatic pressure coming from the first stage cancelled out by having it operate from the side of the hose, let through the valve assembly and operate from the other side. Therefore, the entire valve assembly inside is balanced. If I operate the valve, you see on this assembly that the whole valve assembly here is moving, and from the other side you can see, hopefully, how the valve
Moves back
is
and forth.
opening and closing.
So, what are the advantages of having the balance regulator compared
Well, the
to
balanced regulator
an
is
actual dive?
much more comfortable to use, simply because it will work independent of diving depth and tank pressure. So I always recommend a balanced regulator as the main regulator. This will allow you to dive independent of depths. Let's say you have the same breathing resistance or performance at the surface and 130 feet, 40 meter, same great performance, same resistance. And as well as for ladies and children, we always recommend a balanced regulator because the so-called cracking effort is much lower. The cracking effort means how much suction do I need to generate before air starts flowing. And when we measure breathing resistance or the effort of breathing in joule normally, we say we can have a very good performance out of an unbalanced regulator. But this is measured with the breathing volume of a guy. And they take full advantage of the Venturi effect, that the air actually starts to almost free flow into the mouth. While with ladies and children, that's not the case. They breathe much slower. They normally don't get the Venturi going, and therefore they rely on the low cracking effort and the low breathing resistance of the regulator. So if I have an unbalanced regulator, I can have a lady, I can have an inexperienced diver, children run out of breath because they need to work and fight too hard for the little bit of air they actually need. So they actually need a balanced regulator more than the top fit guy wanting to dive 100 feet. So you and I will have no problem using an unbalanced regulator to 90 feet, while a child will struggle with it a great deal.
They feel like they're running out of breath.
That is correct.
Yeah.
It's called an essoufflement in diving medicine. Running out of breath, meaning buildup of carbon dioxide, and it's actually the breathing muscle can get tired if you have a regulator that breathes too hard. Therefore, guys, invest in a good regulator, a regulator that is balanced for your main stage. For tech diving, I always recommend to have two balanced regulators for your back gas instead of a balanced and an unbalanced. Simply because if you run into a problem, now you're on your backup regulator, you don't want to have a lower performance. You want to have the same performance for your backup system as the main system. Of course, for a stage regulator, for decompression, all of the shallow water application, we can absolutely go with an unbalanced second stage. My recommendation, I still prefer a fully balanced regulator, but to breathe this regulator for 15 minutes at the end of the dive, relaxed at 15 feet, there's no reason not to do it.
It's true, yeah.
Of course, these regulators are suitable to dive 40 meter, but I wouldn't recommend it to women and children. There,
Okay.
that is the main difference between an unbalanced and a balanced second stage.
There you go. All right, guys. So another enlightenment from Torben on regulators. Thank you very much again, Torben.
Sure, anytime.
Okay, we'll see you guys on our next episode.
See you in the water.
Bye.
Bye.
There you go, guys. If you like the video, please click the like button below. And if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please feel free to drop by the comment section. Till next time, and remember, save our oceans, protect our reefs, and dive safe. Bye.